Usually when I talk about stuff on Traumathon, they're mainly based off of recommendations that I get from you guys. It's very, very seldom that I got to talk about my own stuff, so here's an obscure one that haunted me for a long time called Metalosis Maligna, a short film that displays the horrors of an invasive disease that turns all the calcium and flesh in your body into metal. Sort of like Metallica from JoJo, but fucking terrifying. Actually, Metallica is still pretty scary, but this is just as bad. It was made by Dutch director Floris Cake, I hope I said his name right, who has since made several other horrifying short films and animations. For now, I'll just be focusing on that one that doesn't really get much attention, but should. That, of course, being the aforementioned Metalosis Maligna, which was shot as a documentary, much like you'd see one on any other TV network. The disease is talked about with such detail and the acting is so deadpan that you could have sworn that this was a real disease at one point, or maybe it's a glimpse into an alternate reality where metallic implants are far riskier than humans anticipated. First of all, if you're not familiar with this video, I highly recommend watching it before you watch this. It's really well made. And if you're someone who's constantly anxious about their health, like me, then this will strike that one nerve in your brain that'll send you in a panic. So yeah, it's really worth watching before watching this. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Secondly, please forgive the quality of the footage. I've searched up and down for better quality versions, but even the best version of the film I could find was uploaded 13 years ago in 360p, so sorry about that. Anyways, let's talk details. The film starts normally, talking about implants and the normality at which implants are given to most humans. Now, here, we can get a slight glimpse into this alternate reality, as it seems like in this world, humans have lived much longer than ever before, and while that's true with modern humans in our world, the way the narrator states it, it almost makes it seem like everyone nowadays gets an implant. Makes me think that in this universe, medical science is slightly more advanced than ours and keeps their humans living longer, as well as being able to replace vital body parts. That, however, has now come with a cost. See, because now there's a new threat that could potentially cripple most humans who have implants, and could cripple the scientific community for a long time. And that threat, of course, being Metalosis Maligna. As stated in the film, Metalosis Maligna is an infection that is caused by the grafting of metal with human tissue. Implants meant to heal or fix certain areas of the body could turn out to be infectious, as bacteria will make the implant grow with metal tissue and protrude out of its origin point. And it could continue to infect the entire body until eventually it penetrates the skin and jets out into critical areas of the body, eventually devouring the skin, meat, and bones of the victim's body. It's here we get some pretty graphic and raw images of what exactly the disease does to the human body, and honestly, if you're not good with body horror or just real life medical stuff, this is not going to be pleasant for you at all. And this sort of thing is talked about extensively, and it's brutally depicted. The worst of it all, of course, comes from when we actually see a victim of the disease lying in his bed with half his face devoured into metal, and his arm is completely succumbing to the disease itself. As the documentary continues, his conditions get worse and worse, the metal eventually just taking his whole face and voice, and he strains to say anything at all, while the metal grinding sounds that can be heard within his throat just start screeching through his mouth.
Can you make a steady tone with your voice?
The horrors of the disease itself don't just stop there, as towards the end of the film we see that even animals such as this mouse is not safe from the disease. This is a master class in body horror, and it's a shame that it doesn't really get talked about too much. Hell, I feel almost bad making it a Traumathon episode because I really want to dedicate a whole video essay on this film, though sadly there's a reason why that is, and it's simply for the fact that I just can't find much info on this video aside from what I've already told you. Also, it's a 7-minute mockumentary, and there's really not much I could add. It also means a lot to me personally, because I remember seeing this back in high school with friends several years ago, and we were in awe of this beautiful film. There was seriously nothing like it, and I wish I could see a full mockumentary made of this, like a whole movie on this whole topic, though I fear that adding more than what was already shown might just make the concept worse, so who knows. Either way, this is a film that I always show to my friends, especially the ones that are into horror stuff. It taps into your nerves, it taps into your reality, it makes you think what other kinds of diseases affect us nowadays. And you know, even though we don't have Metalosis Maligna, we have a lot of diseases in the real world that are much similar to it. I mean, sure, we don't have metal sticking out of our heads or necks, but we sure have some scary diseases out there that we unfortunately have no cure for. When horror taps into reality and it reminds you of everything that makes the world so scary, that's when you really know you got something bad. Or, in this case, something really good. This is nothing short of brilliant, and seriously, I wished it could get the attention it deserves, so I hope I've educated at least one of you out there, and hopefully it'll inspire future generations to make something just as terrifying, if not more so.